Thank you so much for coming out, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about Jennifer Holness's new film, 40 Acres. I'm super excited to talk about this film and to have you guys take a look at it. Here we go with a little trailer, get you guys tweaked and prepared for this highly exciting movie.
I know I've been hard on you.
Let's go.
Takes hard work to survive.
Let's go.
Augusta 24 to Freeman 1. You copy?
Ain't nobody pushing the seed through the soil, is there?
No, ma'am.
Are there any others like us?
Ain't nobody else out there like us.
Freeman 1, you copy?
We don't need nothing and nobody. Reload. You work now.
Rest when we're dead.
Yes, come on.
Augusta 24 to Freeman 1. You copy?
Afternoon, Augusta.
You've heard about the attacks by now?
Thought your Union Army was gonna come and take care of it.
They're not. They're dead. All of them.
We could have left. People forget what animals were like.
What matters now is how we react. Shoot first, don't ask questions. We ain't waiting on no revenge. They gonna end up dead anyway.
My brother!
You need help? Please! All we need is right here.
You don't want us to trust anyone because you can't trust anyone else.
We don't need nothing and nobody.
Get back! Please! Please!
Freeman 1 to Augusta 24, do you copy? We found your goddamn animals. Now pick up.
Wow, man, that is exciting. That is, I can't wait till Thursday night. I mean, Jennifer, I've known you for a little while now. I've known you for a few years, and I've never known you to make a movie like this. You know, so, tell us about being a producer. A quick hit, and then let's get everybody to introduce themselves after. But give me your elevator thing here now.
Oh gosh. Okay. So Jen Holness, I am a producer in Toronto. I own a production company called Hungry Eyes Media, and we make feature films, a television series and doc series, as well as doc films. I am a writer and I direct documentaries when I don't produce narrative work. And you are right. I have not ever produce a thriller of this nature, but it was my esteemed director R.T. Thorne who brought me this property, and I could not put the script down or turn the project down.
Oh wow, that's exciting, man. And it's good that you have an eye to me to recognize something that would take it to its fruition.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Could we let's meet some of the other actors that came out here today.
I'm Michael Grey Eyes. I play Galen.
Tell us about Galen.
Galen is the other half of the power duo of Haley and Galen, the couple that lead this farm and this family. And Galen is Cree from Sweetgrass First Nation, which is very close to home because my mom is from Sweetgrass. So they changed it slightly when I became involved in the project, and I'm delighted that I was part of this.
That's exciting, man. Like you have your culture represented as it should be, and it seems like in the narrative that it should be done in. So that's one of those adjustments you have to do on the fly there, Jennifer.
Well, first of all, I want to say that Michael Gray Eyes was our number one. Like when a script is being written, and RT wrote the script with Glenn Taylor, his co-writer, and the whole time, like both RT and I had Michael in our mindset, and so there was a whole thing where he was available, but then scheduling wasn't going to work, and then it was going to work, and we're like, we're doing this, and so honestly, it was just it wasn't even like there was no other thought. And we were so pleased when because you have your idea about somebody and then they show up on set and then they turn out to be just as kind and lovely and committed and so talented and all those other things. And then that like the universe was sort of working with you, and that's how I feel about Michael in this role and in this story. So yeah, it was like amazing.
Thank you.
Wow. Oh, that's good, man. You're in the spot. Let's man. I could keep. It sounds like I could keep talking about you for a bit, right? So let's move on to Lena.
Hi, I'm Lena Robinson. I'm Mohawk from the Six Nations of the Grand River Territories, Haisla from Kitimat, BC, and Healthsuck from Bella Bella, BC. I play Rain in 40 Acres, and yeah.
Rain.
So tell us about Rain's role, and how did you bring it to life?
Rain is very spunky. She's full of life, and she's very aware of her position in the family. She's a lot like me, and so bringing her to life just came very natural to me, I would say. Like the tendencies that she had within the script, I was like, oh, I do that. I've seen that before. I've done that before. So even though the world is very different, there is still so many parallels between me and her.
Sounds like the writers did a great job then.
Yeah, they really did.
Yeah, that's good. And Jada.
Hi, I'm Jada LeBlanc, and I play Danis from 40 Acres. She's more of the strong, silent type. She definitely takes after her mother, and she was so lovely to play. I don't know. There's a scene that happens in the movie that is my favorite. It's an intense scene, but I'm so happy that I could deliver it,
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it Thursday night because I haven't seen the movie. I've seen the trailer, and I'm kind of happy I haven't seen it because I get to be excited about getting there and sharing that moment, when it comes out. So like, I'm just totally excited for this movie. Trust me when I tell you that. Most people don't know what a producer does, Jennifer. Can you give us a little quick synopsis of what your role is?
Well, I mean, you're right. People, even when they have an idea, but they don't know. And I liken a producer being like the CEO of a Fortune 500 company that you don't always have the fortune. So you really have to. So you have to make it work, but you start with a property, with a director and a writer, and you actually, like the kind of producer I am anyhow, you have to develop that project, and develop that script. And so I was very hands-on in that process. Then there is, because this is Canada, so you're responsible for financing, and there's a lot of agencies, and then there's also international partners, and you also are looking for sales agents and distributors to put all the pieces together for the financing side of it. And in Canada, the way that we run things is very bureaucratic, but it's extensive work. But then there's human resources. So you've got to deal with your keys, the contracting. You have to deal with locations, vendors, of course, tax credits and accounting. All of these pieces you actually are fully responsible to oversee. And so, it's a real challenge. And so your partners in the making of the movie is so important. So before the actors get cast, all of these things have to be thought through. And I did want to say one real quick thing about both Lena and Jada, because I was gushing about Michael, and I want to have an opportunity to gush about them too. But Lena lives in Vancouver, and we were like, oh, we can't afford to bring in only 2 actors. And then we saw Lena's performance, and we were like so blown away, and just knowing that she was Rain. And by the way, my oldest daughter is named Rain, and so it was kind of like, I was like, it has to be a special person who plays this role. And Lena just, like I said, killed it, and we brought her in from Vancouver. And then Jada, I think that was the toughest one of the kids to cast, because it's like Danis is like a strong silent, and it's actually really much more difficult to play that kind of a role. And and the audition, do you have the right stuff? But Jada killed it. And so she was, again, I can honestly say the people we cast were on my number 1 list for every single one. Like, there wasn't a situation where there was someone else and we whittled it down. I kid you not, every single one of them was on my number 1 list. So I just wanted to just throw that out, just to say how wonderful they were, even in their auditions, making it not that challenging to cast.
That's great, man. That's great. I mean, I'm not from your industry, but I do know that, finding the right people to do things is hard, no matter what industry you're in. So when you get that, that lets something off of you. Now, quick question. So we're talking about financing as a producer and so forth and all that. And I'm just going to go a little sideways a bit. Is there an opportunity in Canada for someone to create an investment fund or something where people can invest in movies, where they can say, hey, you know what? Jennifer's making a movie, or Dean, Dean Bernard, or someone like that. They're making a small movie, or how can we invest? I mean, is there?
Yeah, I mean, I really wish that whoever that person is was around when we were making this movie, because we actually went way over budget in a couple of areas. But Canada has a weird system in that in America, there's a lot of opportunity for private investors, and primarily because there's a tax system that gives them tax breaks and these kinds of things. But here in Canada, they're really, it's equity investment is really how people invest into films or grants. And so equity investment means essentially, because you won't get a tax write-off on it, when you invest into a movie, you expect to get a return based on specific terms. And so right now, there isn't an easy way to do that unless people just want to do private investment because they believe in a film. And in this case, like the BSO, for example, the Black Screen Office would be a place where you can park some money to say, we want to support Black Canadian filmmakers, and this money every year we're going to give this amount, and then with some terms. So I think the Black Screen Office is probably one of the options for this kind of a thing, because there's not a lot of private investment returns structured in our system.
Man, it sounds like there's some work needs to be done around that for sure, because like tax credits for individuals who want to invest their money, and that's how you incentivize things, right? So that's another conversation, another podcast of some sort, you know what I mean? But let's go back to 40 Acres. Now it's coming out on Thursday in Canada and Friday in the US. Backwards, I don't know how I got it, but it's coming out. What do you want? Like, we want first weekend to kick for sure, because I've learned this, that your first weekend needs to go hard, right? So let's get Chetty in here, right? And Chetty from the Caravana Arts Group. Let's see, what are we going to do to help that happen?
Well, I'm excited myself to see the progress that not only people of color are making in the area of Canada as a whole, but I'm willing to support. Not only lend my support from a vocal standpoint, but we're from Caravana Arts Group. We're donating 50 tickets to encourage people to come out and see this, because it's so important for us to not only support our locals. But it seems like a fantastic film, man. I can't wait to see it myself.
Yeah, I'm definitely going. I'm going to bring a crew to go and check it out. I'm going to see it twice. I'm going to see it on Thursday, and then I'm going to go back with a crew again. So I'm looking forward to that. So is there that I'm looking at the trailer and at the premise of the movie. So I'm a guy, I believe everybody, you know, the most valuable thing on the planet is farmland, and farmland with a little water running through it, right? Because I've always been that guy. If I need to go back, I'll bush a yard, right? You know, like if you see Phil is out there and he's not right, you know, buy me a machete and a tent and send me home. I'll be all right. So, you know, seeing that we all understand they're not making any more land, right? And I saw the premise of the movie, right? There's a lot of ways we can end up to where this premise is. Like, you know, you mentioned how the movie got there, but AI is here. Like AI could have been helped. Did AI, by the way, come into making this movie at all?
Well, you know, just talking about the premise of the film, I would love for Michael or one of the actors to actually lay down what the premise is, because it's actually, the trailer gives you a certain point of view of it. But I'd love for folks to really know what the premise is. So maybe Michael, you can just land on, and anybody can jump in, but I want people to know what this film is about. And actually, some of the things I love about this film, that it's a Black and Indigenous family and what that means, seeing that on the screen. But yeah, but the premise, my friends.
Yeah, I'll start. This film is set in a near future. In fact, it's hard not to imagine that this could be, you know, 5 years from now. It's not, you know, so fictionalized. So in a near future, society has broken down because of a virus that has decimated animals, and so there's no farming, you know, animal farming, that kind of food supply. So in this new sort of unstable society, farmland is the most important resource because people are starving, and society doesn't really function. So there's lawlessness and you know, volatility. So this is an Afro-Indigenous family who have a plot of land that they're protecting with everything they have, and that's how this film starts.
Absolutely. That's exactly it. The other piece, just to add to that, is that there's also been a second civil war. We can't possibly imagine that happening. And so both Haley, you know, and Galen are ex-military. So they know how to fight, and they teach their children how to fight. And Lena, who plays Rain, is particularly fond of
The sniper.
Okay.
I am the sniper. I'm the gun-loving daughter.
That's great, man. So I get it now. That's lays out everything. So I think as we move forward here, what was the most important thing when you made this movie? And actually, no, let me ask another question first. Jennifer, if you had to play a role in the movie, you can, and I'm gonna give you an out though. You can invent a role for yourself, right? But which role would it be?
Oh my gosh. Oh, Lord of mercy. Okay. So, you know, here's the thing. I have never wanted to be on screen. I mean, I've done a few things, and I have never put myself on screen because I'm just like, you know, I'm a shy person. I actually have to be tough and, like, you know, whatever in real life and whatever to make things happen. But I'm very shy, and I think if the camera on me, I get very nervous. That said, you know, let me just see. Oh gosh, what role would I have picked? I would be Haley's long lost sister, who has like a safe haven somewhere in the States, and then I'll just show up one day, you know, with like a band of like you know, kids and I guess
dirty dozen.
right? And that I'll bring to the farm and insist that she lets us in, and then she'll be like really annoyed with me, but then eventually she will come to love her other sister. How's that? I just made some shit up, okay? But but you also asked earlier about AI, and I have to say very proudly, there was no AI used in the making of this film. I say this because I think that like art, like I feel like, you know, RT as a filmmaker, art mattered to him and to myself, and so we really like a lot of our stunts were real. Like we did so much in old school filmmaking where you know, yeah, sure, there's some green screen stuff, but mostly it was just real, all real and authentic. And you know, I have to say, I think for actors, you know, they're in greater danger in some ways because AI could really take away